Can we talk about the time when I was 19 and so delusional? I was texting this guy every single day for weeks, and if 3 minutes went by that I didn't respond, he was calling me, freaking out, sending me 100 messages, asking why the I was ignoring him. So instead of seeing that as a red flag, I flew down to Florida so that I could go and spend the time with him. I spent the night, him 3 times, left in the morning just for him to tell me he didn't want a relationship. And instead of stopping there, I ended up moving there so that he could see how amazing I was. And all I did was waste more of my time. Instead of peacocking and trying so hard to get someone to choose you, maybe you can have some self-worth, choose yourself, and set some boundaries.
You made her leave you. You did. Whether you like it or not. You are the reason she became so cold. You are the reason she doesn't listen anymore. You are the reason she's so arrogant all 100%. Of a sudden. You are. You may not have identified why yet, but if you identify why, then you get into your next relationship healed and understanding what you did wrong and learn from it. That's what you have to do. But most of these men don't want the self-accountability.
I love that.
And they want to blame the women.
Yep.
You have to blame yourself. I know exactly now how to keep a woman happy. So I ain't got nothing to worry about. I've learned my lessons. I know exactly how to keep a woman happy. I know when to set a boundary, when to be nice. I know exactly what to do because I've self-analyzed.
I seen a young lady on here the other day telling us how she had to pretty much cut off a bunch of guys on her roster. And then she went on to say that she feels like women are going to be single forever. I really wish I would have saved it because it was very entertaining the way she was telling the stories. But I don't think that women are necessarily going to be single moving forward forever. I just think that we're going to see an increase in women having a lover or lovers instead of the traditional boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage dynamic that we all are used to. Now, this is not going to apply to all women because some of y'all don't even have the mental capacity, the wherewithal, or the bandwidth for multiple lovers in your life anyway. But yeah, I do think that that's what we're going to see. Women are just going to opt out of the traditional relationship standards that have been set before us and just opt to just have somebody that's cool with you, you cool with them, y'all link up and do what you do, might go on a date here and there, and nothing more, nothing less.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. And modern women don't really understand the fact of the matter is, number one, men are tired. Number two, men can't trust almost quite literally, they can't trust anything that you say.
Never, ever be with a man that has ever used escorts, sugar babies, massage parlors, any of those things. Never do it to yourself, girls. I promise you'll regret it. Even if you are the escort that is going to marry this guy, trust me, this is a man that pays for validation. It's a man that will pay to feel desired. It's a man that's not willing to work on himself enough to get the women he desires. And more so than anything, it's a man that doesn't look for emotional and spiritual or intellectual connection with a woman. He just looks for what he desires. I know you're going to say, oh, all men have that desire, all that. No, not all men. All losers have that desire. The desire to just have a woman that is just good for them sexually. The biggest red flag is men that pay for sex. They're usually porn addicts. They are absolutely addicted to pornography. And how you know that they're addicted to pornography?
Dating scene, we're not tripping over these women no more.
And wants to get married. He's only getting married truly for one reason. Because let me be honest with you women, the men can work and provide for themselves. He doesn't need your salary like that. He does not necessarily need you to cook, clean, and have sex because he can get for multiple women. They're giving it out. A lot of them can cook and clean. Their mother taught them, or they can pay someone to get it. The culture is telling them these women do not get married. So why would a man go past what the culture is telling him and choose to have a wife? Because with a wife, you can now have love, nurturing, support, affection. This is what he can't get from a roommate. So if that is not what you're leading with in your relationships with men, this is why your husband is now pulling away, because in the beginning, you gave him those things. But as you got into the relationship, you got bitter, resentful. You start seeing his flaws, start counting that against him. You start measuring him against other men. And now you're pulling back on the love.
You know, a lot of these modern women don't really understand. You have a really solid guy, but that guy is not going to be around forever. Y'all need to start taking advantage of the good man at some point in time.
Impulse. And even greater than their impulse is the need to use other people as their emotional bellhop. See, this isn't just about attention. Nah, it's about validation. It's about energy consumption and the evening of a playing field, because narcissists always feel like they got the short end of the stick. Even when they get a great deal out of it. Even when people sacrifice for them. Even when they made you suffer. That's not enough. The craziest part, when a narcissist does move on, finds a new or goes back to an old supply, we think it's in direct reflection of us. Nah, that's not how works. When someone is as damaged, egomaniacal, and devious as some narcissists are, it's easier to cast blame on everything and everyone else because, well, accountability, that's that you know good and well they allergic to, right? But the new supply don't know no better. You know, they know what you knew in the beginning of that relationship until, well, you can't unsee that behavior that they're going to experience. So don't be concerned with them. They are getting the treatment before the real treatment. And the narcissist, being as though they ain't ever satisfied with anything or anyone in their life, is always on the prowl for the next.
Finger me if I'm wrong, but guys, they do not care about lingerie. They literally don't care. Okay, you could just show up in sweats and a hoodie and they're down. They're down, okay? You don't have to try that hard. They're very simple.
Is it hard to find a good man in China?
Yeah, it's very difficult. So we're all singles right now.
Is that why you're in Vietnam?
Yes, that's the part.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think you can find a better man in Vietnam than in China?
No, I can't. I think I can find a good man.
Really?
Yeah, really. Because I'm a good, live better with myself right now. Yeah.
But you want to date in the future or no?
Yeah, maybe in the future. Maybe.
What's the best way to approach someone like you? Because people are very intimidated. You know, you're beautiful, right? What's the best way if someone wants to get your phone number and take you on a date? How do you want to be approached? Where and how?
It depends. Everywhere can be. Yes, everywhere. In any cases, just the feelings.
How about the app? You like the apps?
I don't use any apps.
So
Yeah, we just use WeChat for work or for friends. Yeah.
So best is in person.
Yes, best in person. Yeah.
Modern women ever really expected a man to leave the dating spaces, you know, stop coming to singles events. That's why they're so surprised a lot of times. It's because it's just a fact of life. Men always like women. They love everything about a woman. They can't turn away from a woman. And when he does, it's like, how could he?
I'm outside at the rodeo and a new ick has been unlocked. When you see a girl with like shorts on or a skirt and the bottom of her cheeks are hanging out of the skirt or shorts, that is an ick. Why do you need attention that bad?
Let me just say this. Us women know when another woman is trying to get at our man. And no, baby, just because you're taken or in a relationship doesn't mean that other women aren't going to hit on you. Like, some of y'all men be so oblivious to this. Like, baby, why you tripping out? It's not that big of a deal. She knows I'm in a relationship, so there's no way that she's hitting on me. Yeah, she knows that you're in a relationship, and sometimes women like the men that are in relationships more than they like the single ones. And by you being openly friendly, openly reciprocating the same energy that she gave you, she thinks that you making yourself available for her. Coming from woman to woman, we always know stuff. Our intuition is, I'm gonna just say, it's always right. And it's not just that because we're insecure or that we're overly jealous. It's just like a common sense of respect from your partner and respect from another girl when she's supposed to be a girl's girl. Like, I'm right here. You're having a conversation with my man and you can't even acknowledge me. Like, no, girl, we can't be friends. You calling me pretty? I'm not taking that as a compliment.
Here's why avoidants feel relief after a breakup. We've had this narrative that, like, they're just the worst people and they never cared about me and they left immediately and now they moved on and they don't feel a thing. What's actually happening is both people were dysregulated, right? So an anxious person wants closeness, whereas an avoidant person wants more space. And if your window of tolerance is small, meaning that you get super dysregulated or up and down really quickly, then the vulnerability required in a relationship is going to trigger you, because for a lot of avoidants, vulnerability means unsafe. Which is why I'm saying we need to stop villainizing these people. You have your anxiety, they have their avoidance. No one is better, no one is worse. And after an avoidant breaks up, they feel relief. Whew, okay, my nervous system is more regulated. And then down the road, they start to process and realize this person was really amazing. And which is why sometimes they will come back, but not always. I know how hurtful it can be when you're dating somebody that you really like and all of a sudden out of nowhere they can end it. It feels awful. But just remember, this wasn't your person. We don't need to villainize avoidants as if they're the worst people. We can just say that that person isn't ready for what it is that you want or need. Neither one of you are bad or good. But let go of this narrative, because trust me when I say there are plenty more avoidant people out there than you'd like to think. And if you're just going to say, well, I'm not going to date them, good luck out there in the dating world, baby.
A lot of men, you'll never understand that a lot of the stress that they have doesn't mean that they don't have any stress, but a lot of the stress that they used to have in terms of a relationship, which fed into work, which fed into relationships with their friends, with their family, because you're a bona fide problem and a bum. Once you left, all of that went out the window, because he ain't got to worry about you no more.
Everything's changed. Everything changed.
How many ways can I say no? So has something changed?
Yeah, everything's changed. Everything changed here in LA. You were part of it. You saw it with the federalization of the National Guard. I just think we're on the other side of something radically different, not marginally different. Everything has changed in terms of my mindset, my focus, my energy, my perspective on the world we're living in, Trump and Trumpism, what he represents, and how serious and precious this moment is. So, no, from that perspective, legitimately, I've changed. This country is changing, and I'm calling it out. And I just feel like we have a responsibility to be a little bit more clear and concise and precise in terms of our efforts.
One thing I love about me, especially young me growing up, is that no man could ever, you're very mature for your age, me. They couldn't, because there's nothing appealing in somebody that could be my father's age. They're close. There's nothing appealing about me growing up, and the same people that used to call me Lil, insert my daddy name, want me now. Like, that's ill to me. Ill. Like, and it's just so disheartening that there are some girls out here and them men's got them, the same ones that watched y'all grow up, got y'all. That's why I could never, well, I'm 30 now, so, dating an older man, I'm not going to be opposed to it if we in the same, decade, I guess. But when I was younger, what do we have to talk about? I know I'm not mature enough. Like, what? I don't care how grown I think I am. Dating an older man had never been appealing to me, like, at all. Dating young ones wasn't appealing to me. Dating, period, just was confusing. So dating an older man when I was confused, baby, no.
Modern women don't seem to understand you can't shame a regular guy. You average, you need to be above average. Oh, you need to be this, and this. And then when that man finally goes and finds somebody, whether it be overseas or in another city, in another state, when he get about your face and go find somebody else, now you asking where all the good men went. They went to go find somebody that wasn't acting stupid.
So I'm going to say it loud and proud. Marriage is not for men. A woman tried to hop in my DM the other day and she was upset because I put a post up saying that marriage don't benefit men. It don't benefit men. First of all, half of y'all don't even know how to be wives, or the bulk of y'all don't even know how to be wives. Y'all don't know how to cater to a man. Y'all don't know anything about being a wife. Y'all selfish as hell. And then a man decides to believe in you and make you a wife. And then as soon as y'all fall out of love, or as soon as the first issue comes up, y'all want to leave the man, because that's what y'all do, because we're not going to act like women don't initiate more divorces than men, because men actually take relationships and things seriously. Do you know how many men who are miserable in marriages right now, but they still having the same conversation for the millionth time with their woman because they want to make it work, because they take marriage seriously? It be y'all women who don't take nothing, relationships, marriage, nothing seriously. Y'all be ready to bounce and hop on the next as soon as an issue arrives. It's just crazy wild. But we're not going to act like marriage benefit men, because y'all be angry and bitter, and as soon as a divorce is on the table, now y'all want to take the man, y'all want to take that y'all didn't even work for. Y'all want to take the man for everything he got. Y'all want to take the kids from him so he can sit there and be miserable. It's just, marriage is not for men.
A lot of women continue to ask, or continue to want, continue to search in weird places, might I add. Where are the good men? Where can I find them? You can stalk them in front of the gas station at 5 o'clock in the morning. You show up to Lowe's and sneak up on them. It's weird stuff. The type of stuff that they call men creepy about, they go in and they do it. Where are the good men? And the funny thing about it is that you wouldn't have had to do that had you been acting right.
5 things I wish I knew when I was dating for marriage from someone who didn't get it right the first time. Keep in mind, someone can be a good person, but not a good match for you. If you're talking to a guy for marriage and feel the need to hide something about him from your friends and family, red flag for yourself. Deep down, you know that thing is not right and don't want your family to catch on. This may be because you really like him and want to protect his image and don't want to be talked out of it. Don't tell a man exactly what you're looking for. Instead, let him show you who he is. Telling someone exactly what you want is giving them a play-by-play on who to be in order to impress you. If someone wants you badly enough, they consciously or subconsciously make themselves fit the mold. The little things you convince yourself you can deal with will always become big things after marriage. If he's showing you habits or character that don't align with your core values, don't try to make it fit by telling yourself it isn't a big deal. Yes, it is. Actions speak louder than words. This guy is repeatedly showing behaviors that are indicative of his true character, but when you address your concerns with him, he always has these well-crafted responses to talk his way out of it. Stop giving him that opportunity and literally just trust your eyes, girl. Most importantly, it is imperative that we do inner work before even thinking about a relationship. A man will only love you to the extent you love yourself. We embrace the love we believe matches our value. You need to know you're the prize. Don't look for a partner to make you happy. Build so much joy within yourself that you want to share it with others, including your future husband. Bonus point, always trust your intuition. If Allah is sending you signs through intuition or dreams, don't ignore them. Let me know if you'd like to see a part 2.
You know, a lot of these modern women are continuing to still wait for a finished product. While y'all are still under construction, and y'all are those types of construction projects to where they keep on saying, oh, it's another delay, and it's another delay, and it's another delay, and y'all's healing, and y'all's, oh, I got rid of my trauma, oh, I'm a better person now, seems to always be delayed.
Let's say one party's came to a realization that they may not be as ready as they thought they were.
Okay.
And they've made a decision that I'm going to take a step back, not because of anything you're doing. It's just that I overestimated my capacity to give you what you need. However, they don't want
to let you go. Let me go. I don't want to be in purgatory. If you don't have the capacity, I think it's a beautiful and responsible decision to let me go because you don't have the capacity for me. But trying to hold on to me while you also are not able to fully commit in that way is selfish. I don't want that. And now that's going to create resentment. You'll resent me for holding on to me also because you don't have the capacity to keep me. And I'll resent you for sticking with someone that can't give me 100% of who they are and how they are. And that's not fair to either of us. So it's like, you catch me on the flip side. You know, if we're meant to be, then it'll be. And
but
if
what
not,
if I don't want to see you touching on nobody, Sarah? I don't want to see the love of my life.
Then you should have had it together.
Touching and kissing and loving on. And
you had your shot and you blew it. If slow feet don't eat. That's how I feel. I feel like if you know the kind of woman or man that you have in front of you and you are very interested in this person, but for whatever reason you're not ready for them, don't slow them up. If you have love for that person, love on them, send them prayers, whatever it may be, and either you get to step in or slow feet don't eat. If you miss out on your blessing, that's on you. And sometimes it be like that. One of the things I'm learning looking at houses, don't fall in love with a house.
Why?
Because sometimes it just doesn't happen. The house that you love is not the house that you get. Okay. It is what it is. Sometimes the person you love is not the person you get. You gotta fall in love with you, get to work on you, and go from there.
Do not marry someone that cannot give you the lifestyle that realistically you want. Especially if you want to have children, really think about the kind of life you want to give your children. If you marry a guy that cannot keep a job or really can't afford for you to ever stay home, why would you have children with that man? Because you might be thinking, oh, but I can earn money too. I am an attorney. I understand your thought process. Once you have children or get pregnant, you will realize pregnancy is so unpredictable. Birth is so unpredictable. Postpartum is so unpredictable. You can have very complicated medical issues that occur during those times. You want to be with someone that can provide during that time. And also, how insane that a man cannot keep a job and provide a decent lifestyle, but you're birthing his children. That is very difficult. And a lot of women are like, but I already love him. And they get in their emotions. And then you might be thinking, oh, but that's not romantic. If all you rely on is romance and emotion for the decision of who you marry, you are being extremely foolish. I do divorce and custody as an attorney, and I can tell you that's a quick way to ruin your life. Just base everything off of romance and feeling. Use logic. Use wisdom. Be honest about the kind of life you think your future children deserve and the lifestyle that you actually want. I'm not saying only marry for lifestyle, also marry for values, someone that you enjoy, but you have to consider lifestyle.
Why do single men ask other single men what women want instead of just listening to what women want?
Like, it's actually not very complicated. You guys are making it so much more complicated than it needs to be.
If you want a real man, then shut the fuck up and let him be one, okay? You women are screaming all over the internet and social media that I want a real man. But the moment you get one, you start trying to control him in every angle, okay? Does this sound familiar? Why did you do that? No, that's not what happened, Josh. You know what? Just stop. Just let me handle it, okay? Does this sound familiar? That's not communication, honey. That is called emasculating your man. And a lot of you women operate like this. I'm right and you're wrong. And you correct him. You question him. And you talk down to him. But you don't call it control. No, you call it helping, okay? And here's the irony with that. You're not helping. You say you want a masculine man. But the moment you get one, you can't handle when he makes his own decisions. So what do? You slowly start chipping away at him, one correction at a time. So he starts walking on eggshells. And that's how a man loses his confidence. And when that happens, it obviously kills the attraction, right? Because you cannot be attracted to a man that you don't respect. And being Miss I'm always right might make you feel good in the moment. Yes, I understand that. But it destroys the connection that you actually want with him. So, ladies, if you say you want a real man, then shut the f*** up and let him be one.
People don't make albums anymore. They don't make albums. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles and they burn out and they put out a new one and they burn out and they put out a new one. People don't even listen to a body of work anymore.
Respectfully asking, what are your other options besides marriage, alone, for the streets, or serial dating? Traveling, running businesses, being a mentor, being a volunteer, frolicking, dilly-dallying, praying, meditating, exercising, working out, taking care of your body, dating men who actually like you and treat you amazingly, spending time with your friends, spending time with your children, spending time with your parents, doing new things every day, trying new restaurants. You can do all of these things besides being married, alone, for the streets, or being a serial dater. You can have companionship. You don't have to be married to have companionship or be in the presence of someone else romantically, whatever it is you choose. I'm in the presence of men all the time. Having a good time, being treated nicely. You don't have to settle for just these things. And if you think that that's all that a woman or a man, for that matter, can do, you're missing out on life. There's a lot of life that has to do with not being attached to some person at the hip. And it can be amazingly enjoyable.
When will you realize that a woman will rearrange her schedule if she really wants to be with you? If she says no, then you go to the gym or you start looking for another woman, especially if you're looking for a wife or a long-term relationship. She can play that game with her orbiters, but she's not going to play it with you.
Hey, your friend got to be honest.
You do. What friend?
You.
Yes, I do have a boyfriend.
Well, she already said that.
No shade.
We should do a therapy session for y'all, girl.
Right
now?
Not right now.
Let's do one right now.
Hey, nobody's talking to you. You got a boyfriend.
Stop trying to...
Hey, you got a boyfriend. You got to act like your princess. That's it.
Man, what the fuck are you talking about with the high
I'm just saying, it's just giving friendly. It's just giving friendly. That's it.
I want to say for the scenario, I picked a funny scenario for the sake of the podcast. I want to say if you're a man, do not approach a woman in the grocery store. Do not approach a woman in the gym.
I mean, you picked it.
No. And I would say so. No. And I would say so. I didn't think about it, and I apologize. Yeah. That is why I want to give my opinion right now. I want to go ahead and say, by heart, I'm a conservative person. and I want to give my opinion on what a woman has to support in a relationship besides from just.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
Chasing a woman is crazier the deeper you think about it. You're begging somebody to let you spend money on them. That's literally what chasing girls is. When you chase a girl, you're literally begging her to spend your own money. Man, get the out of here. Ain't no way. We're gonna beg to spend money on these girls? I'm gonna beg you to provide? What the? No, you crazy. When people say women are the prize, I'm like, how? If I'm gonna be expected to be Superman, have all these accolades by myself, and you just show up, you best believe I'm the prize. Maybe y'all get it. I don't get it.
Everybody at this table should be proud to be sitting here in front of a man's man.
Chivalry is dead, and women. Men, you need to protect yourselves. Back 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, if you went on a first date with a girl, the likelihood that she had a genuine interest in you and wasn't just using you because she was bored or she wants a free meal, the likelihood that any one given first date even ends up becoming a second date is very small. Most first dates don't lead anywhere. In the past, you'd maybe go on like 3 first dates and then you're married. Now, be going on 3 dates a week. Are you probably going to lose girls if you don't pay for the date? Yes. However, it's a matter of principle. I'm not going to be paying for a girl on a date that's f***ing another dude, and most of these chicks are f***ing other dudes. Like, I'm not going to...
I saw on Instagram that said that men have lost the art of yearning. Like, no one yearns anymore. And I thought it was so funny and kind of true, honestly, because we live in such a world of convenience with dating apps, with the way that technology is so integrated in our life and our lifestyles, that like we don't have to really work for anymore. Even using AI and ChatGPT in my job, I'm like, okay, when was the last time I actually used a brain cell to think about something critically? So that's whatever, I digress, but my point is like, yeah, I guess we live in a world of convenience, and when it comes to dating and relationships, we're so quick to just like, whoop, on to the next. Nobody be yearning for anyone anymore.
As a matchmaker, I'm always looking for opportunities for my single clients to meet other singles in a natural environment. Today, I'm looking out for my single ladies who like the contractor type.
Excuse me, can you take me to the good-looking guys? I hang out here in Home Depot. Primarily, they're in lumber.
Here I am in the lumber aisle. Don't see much happening right now, so I decided to take a walk around. Oh, there's a guy. He'd be good for someone. And sometimes you gotta be a little inconspicuous about these things, especially when you're hunting for men. Oh, there's a cute one, ladies. So I made my way back over, and again, not much happening. There wasn't really anyone here that I would set my clients up with.
Mornings, Monday to Friday.
There you go. If you luck out, try again. Monday to Friday, lumber aisle, Home Depot.
So a man on Tinder has to swipe right 200 times to get one match, and then 4 of the 5 coffees will ghost him because their filter kicks in again. So half of millennial men say they are no longer dating. They're no longer even trying. It used to be family, friends, and school, how you met people. Now it's 70% online. And when they're not going to church, not going to softball league, not going into work, men have very few venues to demonstrate excellence. What you find with these couples is the woman says, I wasn't interested in him, but then I found out he's really kind.
Totally.
I like the way he smelled. He made me laugh. And I started getting attracted to him. How do you demonstrate excellence as a man when there's no venues where you're around other people for extended periods of time? You want to punch above your weight class romantically? Get used to rejection. I can't tell you the amount of rejection I've endured from women. And that's the reason I'm with somebody who's much hotter than me.
The last stage in a failed marriage is this: when either or both parties say, we just inhabit a house. Men, when you are firing on all 8 cylinders, women in general will admire, desire, and conspire to be with you. You will have options and never have a take what you can get mindset. No more low-hanging fruit. Let's just get away from women for a second. Be a man that people want to be around, that people conspire to be around. That's a great life. Men, if you want a woman to belong to you and be in your frame, you have to do the work and be follow-worthy. Then your biggest problem will be, who will I be with this weekend? Versus, oh, here comes another weekend. Getting your together equals having options.
Days or weeks after the breakup? Oh, that tells me you were never the long-term plan anyway. They just stuck it out for convenience in their lives. And when I say convenience, I'm speaking on what you provided for them. Outside of the physical nature of a relationship. See, exes who don't give a need some type of familiarity and comfort to hang on to until they find a new supply that can provide them with more lenience than you did. They didn't move on to someone who was harder to deal with. Nah, they move on to someone who was even more accepting, didn't ask as many questions as you did, didn't want as much of a commitment as you did, or can provide them financially with a better windfall of commitment. But you know that old saying, right? How you get them is exactly how you lose them sometimes. Yeah, that. Your ex ain't gonna change their stripes. They came built this way. They're only loyal to what they can get out of everyone that they get into relationships. So don't feel bad. You didn't lose some magnificent lover match made in heaven. Likely you was unhappy towards the end anyway. And the more distant they became during the relationship, the more you just tried to hang on. Just because we don't want to lose that comfort as well.
Why does society push traditional marriage while ignoring the actual Christian tradition of dowry?
I'm not sure. I think we as a society have just are again trying to change from the transactional idea of marriage to more about love.
And how is that working out?
I don't know. I'm not married. Don't ask me. You can ask someone else who's married.
Why are modern men told they shouldn't care about a woman's money when men have been taking dowries for centuries?
Because now you have the opportunity, everybody has the opportunity to be able to make money, not based off of family status.
If kings and emperors took dowries, why are modern men called not real men for wanting financial partnership?
I think because the Lord also in the Bible calls men to provide for their family. If you want kids as a man after your wife gives up her body and everything, I think that you should be willing to pay for anything.
It is a fact that men want what they can't have. They want what is not easily accessible to them.
This is one of the biggest misconceptions about men. It is simply not true. Of course, no one likes overly clingy people, but if you're talking and then all of a sudden you make him feel unwanted or that you're inaccessible, he may still want you, but he's certainly not going to want you more. When you just pull out like that, it doesn't make him want to chase you. He's just a little bit confused as to why you're suddenly not talking to him when he thought you were a perfectly nice girl. Okay, they don't want you to be entirely reliant on them, especially if it's for their wallet, but they want to feel super necessary. They spend all day long in society being told that they're not necessary. They do not want a partner who also makes them feel unnecessary. If you can make your partner feel that not only you want and need him, but that he is wanted and needed by society, by the world, you will have a very powerful man.
Men don't marry the love of their life. Men marry the woman that's there when he's ready and makes the process painless for him.
Okay, some of you are going to hate this because it's not romantic, but what she's saying is true. You're out here trying to be unforgettable to a man who isn't even marriage minded. Let that sink in. I know there's a lot of coaches that are trying to teach you how to make him think about you and miss you and chase you, but why? This man ain't getting married. All you're doing is making it easier for him to keep you around because the intensity is high and the chemistry is high and you feel like it's going somewhere. But you're just getting strung along because you're not the one that got away. You're the one that met him before he was ready to get married. And that's why he's not going to marry you. Men don't lock down the most exciting woman of their life. Listen to me. They lock down the woman that's right in front of them when they're ready to build. Timing plus readiness is going to beat chemistry every time, like visceral chemistry. Everything else up to that point is entertainment. So if you keep ending up in almost relationships, you don't need more patience, you need better discernment. You need to spot a marriage-ready man early.
Y'all know what sucks about dating as a 28-year-old? Realizing they're a great person, but they're not your person. And I feel like we realize this fairly early on, but a lot of us just refuse to admit it because, like, it's sad. It's like you meet a fantastic human being, they check every box, they're not your person, and you can just tell. I feel like that has been like the epitome of my dating life for the past 2 years. I am meeting these fantastic human beings because I'm a very picky person myself about the type of person I'm going to spend time with. But they end up not being my person. There's something that's just not there checking a box. And it sucks and it's sad. And it makes it that much harder to break up with that person, but even if it's the right thing to do. But you know, it's just how it's been lately, and it sucks.
It is so annoying that as a female, when I'm carrying something heavy, a large suitcase, my table, my chairs, a bag, anything really, really heavy, and like men walk by and like don't ask if I need help going up or down the stairs, or the Uber driver just stands there while I take all these things out the back of the car and walk to my house. It just be like, I have to just say that I don't think he was raised right. And then when they hit you with the, oh, do you need help? No, I got it. I needed help 37 steps ago. I don't need help now. Like, chivalry. How do you want your daughter treated? How do you want your wife, your grandmother, your mother, your sister? You don't even hold the door. And that don't even go just for just men. It be other women too. Y'all hate when y'all gotta struggle and then y'all will turn around and close the door in another female face.
And a lot of people get offended by this, but traditional women are married before 25. The reason I say that is because traditional women spend their youth on their family. That's the most important thing to them. Where modern women tend to spend their youth on themselves and then start a family later. One is not better or worse. They're just different. Traditional mothers are mothers that put the family over themselves. A modern mother is one that puts herself before the family. Traditional women believe in obeying their husbands, where modern women tend to want more of a 50-50 partnership, and they will say things like you need to negotiate with your husband. A traditional woman says whatever he says goes. If more women were brutally honest with themselves, we would figure out that most women are not meant to be mothers, because being a mother is selfless, meaning you have to think about your husband and children before yourself. But we live in a world where women are told and enabled to put themselves first for a lifetime.
I just had a complete meltdown because my heart is tired. And this next season, I just want to break. My heart just need a break because I am tired of giving unconditional love to conditional people. I am tired of being liked and not chosen. I am tired of being seen, heard, but never truly valued. Y'all, I am tired. I am tired of being the strong person. I am tired of being the person who understands. I am tired of being the person who takes the higher road. I am tired of giving and never getting it back. I am tired. I'm human, and I know this is my flesh talking because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. And I told y'all this faith walk is not easy. This faith walk is not easy. And I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful because I know I have a beautiful life. I know I'm blessed. Oh, I'm tired.
The worst thing a woman can do is marry a man. Statistically speaking, married women do not live as long as single women. They don't earn as much money as single women, and they are not as happy as single women. In every single sociological study, the data shows that married women are less contented. This is fact. On the flip side, married men who are married to women outperform single men in wellness, so much so that arguably the healthiest thing a man can do for himself is marry a woman. Again, this is scientific fact. Men live longer, they make more money, they're happier, all of it. And this is a direct correlation. What women lose in a relationship, men gain. This is why women have chosen to be single and why we have the male loneliness epidemic, which, by the way, I hate the title of. All the headlines suggest that women need to go back to traditional ways, that the birthright is declining, as if this is some sort of failing on women. But what's actually happening is, for the first time in history, women have choice. Women are holding men accountable and no longer subscribing to the system that has failed them. So men, unless you are actually making her life better than she can make for herself, you will be staying lonely. It's not the women's responsibility to fix this. It's the responsibility of men to change change their behavior. There are a lot of good men in the world, and they are the ones who are going to understand and agree with this post. The men getting mad in my comments are the ones that are and should stay lonely in this self-inflicted male loneliness epidemic. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.
I will never understand women who say they want to get married when they don't even have a boyfriend. What do you mean you want to get married? You don't even know who you're marrying. Marriage is literally saying, I want to spend the rest of my life with this specific person. So how can you already want it before that person even exists in your life? That just tells me you don't actually want the marriage. You want what marriage represents, the idea of it. It's the same conversation with children. When I was younger, I thought, I guess I'll probably have a family one day, but I never sat there thinking I want children. And my dad once said something to me that at the time sounded a bit silly. He said, there comes a point in a woman's life where when she feels safe, she's in love, and the relationship is stable, the maternal instinct naturally comes in. And he was right, because once my relationship with my boyfriend, who is now my husband, became solid, and I knew we'd be together forever, that's when the thought of having kids suddenly made sense. Before that, it just didn't. Because building a family, to me, only makes sense when you actually have the person you're building it with. Otherwise it's a dream based on what you think you should be doing, and you rush it without giving it enough thought of what you actually want.
I did not expect consideration from a woman until I got it. And now, I be goddamned if a woman come by here and not be considerate and I let her slide. I didn't know that I needed to be spoken to in a gentle way until a woman did it. I didn't know I needed to have space held for me emotionally until a woman did it. So do I expect way more? And don't, that's not even to mention the work that I've done in my own life. This is about, yes, men actually are raising our standard. It's happening slowly and surely, but it is happening. And I think right now we at this stalemate because women are raising theirs too. You feel me? So we all kind of looking at each other like, what else do you do? You know what I'm saying? Because, no, I'm gonna keep it as candid as I can. For the longest time, money was enough. It was enough. You make you a decent living, you can find you a woman. Whether y'all loved each other or not wasn't the point. Y'all could find somebody. You had some on you, you could bear some kids, take care of a home, you could find you a man. That's not gonna work for nobody no more. So men are like, all right, you got shorty, what else? The last chick got that. Like, I ain't even have to work for that. So if you don't got more than that, what's up? And the same thing with ladies looking at the men, like, big dog, I got my own 6 figures, so what else do you do aside from come with money? So it's like, yes, we are all raising our standards. What the problem is, we've hit a stalemate because this is new territory for everybody.
You're not losing your man because he doesn't love you. You're losing him because you don't respect him, okay? So just let that sink in for a minute and let me explain. Love does not keep a man. Respect does, and most women don't understand what that looks like for a man. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Your tone, your reactions, how you speak to him when you're upset, and when people are watching, because you can say, I love you all day long, right? It's words. But if you interrupt him, correct him, roll your eyes, make him feel small, belittle him, that's disrespect. And men don't stay where they feel that. They don't argue forever. They will detach quietly. Less effort, less presence, less interest. And once he checks out, you don't bring him back with affection. He's already gone. You think being strong means challenging him, controlling everything, and needing to win, but that is not strength, especially feminine strength. That is ego. Respect looks like trusting his lead, listening without trying to overpower him, speaking in a way that builds him up and not breaks him down, okay? You don't lose your voice. You learn how to use it, because when a man feels respected, oh my God, he shows up different. More grounded, more driven, more intentional, more willing to actually lead you. So before you say he's not stepping up, ask yourself this. Have you actually been giving him something worth stepping up for?
Why men are losing interest in dating. A lot of men flat out don't see a clear upside anymore. What, he has to beg to be in a relationship so he can pay your bills? He can't expect reciprocation at all. There's high risk of ghosting when he could have just hung out with some friends. Are exhausted from dating apps. He might send out 50 messages to maybe get 2 replies. And just maybe one of those might turn into an actual date if he's lucky. And they're swiping for hours, days, just feels like rejection over and over again. Conversations stall constantly, and he's expected to make the first move and come up with something interesting constantly. If at any point he's not interesting, or even sometimes when he is interesting, that's still not good enough. She might just ghost him randomly for no reason, and he doesn't know why. A lot of women, the infinite options makes all these individual men feel very disposable. Constant competition, and a lot of women will actually rub this in a man's face. All of her Instagram DMs that she gets, dating app matches, all the validation she gets off social media when these people don't even know her in real life. Yes, he feels like he has to compete with all of that. Also, dating is expensive. Dinners, dates, even if he takes out every woman to a coffee date, it still adds up over time. Also, he's got to make sure he's got good housing, because, most women won't date a man that lives with his parents, and he knows that. He's got to pay for education potentially, or certificates, so he can grow his career to be more attractive. All the grooming and hygiene. Dating is very expensive for men, despite a lot of women believing that that's not the case.
When I have reached, if we're talking about me, myself personally, if I've reached a level where I'm financially stable and we never have to have a problem with money again, or as far as worrying if the rent's gonna get paid or the mortgage, I don't care about your money. Now, 10 years ago, when I was building this, I needed a woman to be with the gym with me shooting. That never showed up. So I had to build this gym, buy the land, and build this myself. Now I own this. I don't need her to make no money, because at no point in time is her money going to provide for me. Them Jordans that she bought me at Christmas ain't comparing to this $5,000 mortgage we got on this house. So that's when they say, I don't care about money from a woman, because that's already been checked off. But when I was building, when I was the McDonald's nigga, I really wanted a woman to build with me. But they didn't want to see it. They won't with it. But now that I have built this,
So it's not a woman's job to build y'all niggas.
All I need, respectfully, all I need from a woman, I need is peace and pleasure. Peace and pleasure. Because that peace is going to make me make more money. That peace is going to inspire me to be better. That peace, that having that good positive energy when I walk out that door is going to make me more successful.
Get you some money.
And the fact that my energy and my spirit is right from that peace, and my are empty from that pleasure, I'm going to go run it back. I'm going to go run it up.
Even trying to tell you guys at this point.
The fact that some of these singles events and these mixers and stuff like that, now I've seen some mixers out there that are pretty, they look pretty good. That's something I might go to if I were single, right? But then you have a lot of them where men don't come at all. And women are like, where are all the good men at? How come men aren't showing up to this type of stuff? Well, it's not really beneficial. A lot of this stuff to a man isn't really there's nothing I ain't going to take anything home from it. Well, you might get a number, and what might means is similar to playing the lottery. Well, you might win, so keep on playing. I'm going to keep on playing the lottery, and I might never win. But I've spent a lot of money. I've accumulated a lot of tickets, a lot of lottery tickets, and when I've counted up the cost, I spent a lot of money on something that I never even had a chance to win. Well, do you have a shot? Probably I have a shot, a chance to win in general, but do I have an actual chance versus a 1 in infinity chance? Probably not. And that's how a lot of men feel about dating. They don't really have a shot with a lot of these modern women. With the way that they act, with the way that they treat me, and really honestly and truly on that subject, with the way that they treat me, do I want a shot?